I'm not entirely sure what's been going on in this world, but I feel like everybody who owns a food company has been off the freaking rocker recently. We had the burger wars in the United States where the McDonald's CEO eats burger. Everyone starts clowning on him for the way that he ate the burger. Also, he did call the burger a product.
I love this product. It's a delicious product.
So like it was just all sorts of weird. He was acting like a robot. And then all of a sudden, Burger King CEO is like, let me show you how to eat a burger. And then it got to the point where there were too many CEOs trying to show us, the regular people, that they also can eat burgers. And then it just got weird. It was almost like, I want to see every single fucking CEO of every major tech company. I want to see how they do the dishes. Because that will tell me everything I need to know about you. Because the way someone does the dishes, it's like you've never done the dishes in your life. You can't fake it. Anyway, that has nothing to do with today's story. But today's story is about another food war that's happening in China right now. And I've never experienced a story like this in which one influencer, usually when you hear about influencers and restaurants, it just is gonna piss you off, okay? Because it's like, hey, you do pretty well for yourself. You don't need to be doing all of that to get a free appetizer. Like, it's just not that serious. Pay for your own food, tip your waiter. It's not that serious. But this is a whole different level. This is not an influencer who said, I want a free meal. This is not an influencer who said, do you know who I am? Well, he did do that. But this is the most batch crazy. It's almost as if one influencer, let's say I almost take down the Cheesecake Factory. That's the type of power we're talking about right now. But first I have to tell you about Xibei.
Xibei.
So there's this restaurant called Xibei. It's a huge chain in China. It's like the Cheesecake Factory. It's like, what's another huge chain here that's around? PF Chang's is kind of pricey. Cheesecake Factory is kind of pricey. It's not fast food. Well, you know what? These days, Chipotle is getting crazy with their prices and their portions, but it's not like Chipotle prices. Like, you go there to have a sit-down meal. You might even have a birthday party there. So it's kind of like Cheesecake Factory, California Pizza Kitchen. I always call it Chicken Kitchen, okay? It's that level of food. But Xibei doesn't even market towards adults. They market towards the kids. They say, bring your kids in because we have the healthiest kid menu that you've ever seen in a chain restaurant. Here's the thing about Xibei. They say you go to any other freaking restaurant and you look at the kids menu, it's 3 things. It's gonna be like chicken nuggets and fries, butter noodles, and that's about it. Grilled cheese. There's no real food for the kids. But Xibei said every order that you have, I mean, the kids menu is just as long as the adult menu. Everything is made fresh. Everything is so good. It's the highest material. It's organic, non-GMO. They do every single ad for this.
They're not like organic and non-GMO?
The kids menu is.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Wow.
So they do a lot of advertisements about this. They'll do family advertisements where the entire family is blindfolded. Do you see where I'm going with this?
No.
Could you imagine where I'm going with this?
No.
And they're all holding up their chopsticks in the air. It just says, order with your eyes closed. Every dish is delicious. It's just like every single advertisement. There's this whole advertisement where there's this little girl who's reading the menu at Xibei. And she's like, what does organic mean? And then the waitress is like, I'll show you. Grabs her hand, takes her to the fields. Then she meets another girl who's the daughter of the farmer. And they're like, this is what organic means. We have to look for pests ourselves because we don't use harsh pesticides. And they have a magnifying glass and they see a ladybug. And I'm like, see, that's what would convince me to get into gardening. That's how I tried to get into gardening. And then I saw the real bugs that plants attract and I was like, fuck no, okay? So they're like, we look for the pest. Every seed. Instead of buying 2 Barbie dolls, I bought this organic seed. And then they plant the seed together.
Okay.
And I was just like, this is cute, but also weird. And then the next one is like, this little kid is at the restaurant and is eating a lamb skewer because they're really big on lamb dishes. And she's like, why is this lamb so yummy? And the parents are like, because it's grass-fed lamb. And then it just takes you to see all the lambs. And I was like, why would you do that? Why would you do that? But they do that, okay? So with everything that Xibei has been promoting, your impression of the restaurant is certainly their food is going to be made fresh on the spot, prepared with the best ingredients. The brand positions itself as a family restaurant, so you're paying premium prices. Their pricing is at a level which it's kind of like Din Tai Fung prices.
Explain Din Tai Fung for people.
Okay. Din Tai Fung is a Taiwanese brand of food where you go there. There's locations in California and one in New York. I don't know anywhere else that has one, but you go and you sit down and you say, ooh, you know what? I do want an appetizer. Can I get the cucumber dish? $8 for a fucking cucumber dish.
Tiny. But it's
Then
so
the-
good though.
Then the
Stephanie's
waiter
favorite.
comes out. Oh yeah, I didn't fuck it up, okay? So then the waiter comes out.
Pulls up a mukbang video.
Stop! Don't remind me, okay? Stop it right now.
I think everybody actually knows exactly what restaurant we were talking about.
I still cannot walk into a single Din Tai Fung without someone going, I've seen your videos eating Din Tai Fung. And I go, oh. Then the waiter pulls up with this tiny little, you know those like peach tree dishes that scientists use? Like that size of a dish. And it's precisely one mini Persian cucumber cut into different little slithers and then dipped in chili oil.
Delicious.
$8 and I order it every single time. It's so good. Okay, it's Din Tai Fung prices. So I'm expecting that cucumber was farmed in the back of Din Tai Fung's owner's, founder's house. Like I'm expecting this cucumber to be out of this world.
Didn't they say Din Tai Fung is like the highest grossing
Oh, yeah.
dollar restaurant in America? Like
Yeah.
one of the locations is like the most
Yeah.
brings in the most revenue.
They make so much money. They have pretty much robbed me and my family. My sister, every time she's in New York, the amount of Din Tai Fung she consumes, she goes on Xiaolongbao tours in New York. Okay, that's another story for another time, but it's bad. It's bad. Xibei is like the Din Tai Fung in China. It's not the same, but it's kind of the same. I think it's like Din Tai Fung, Xibei, Haidi Lao. They're all in that same sphere of they're in every single city. Everybody knows them, and everyone knows that when you go, you're not getting an affordable meal, but hopefully you're getting a good meal. But Xibei, even compared to Haidi Lao, is super expensive. Haidi Lao in the US, I
You're
think, is
kidding
really
me.
expensive. But I think Haidi Lao in China is less expensive because when you get a kid's meal at Haidi Lao, I don't know why the kids aren't eating the hot pot, but if you get like a kid's meal of a hamburger, I don't know why they're getting hamburgers. You know what? I have so many questions actually. Okay, but there's a Chinese hamburger that you can order at Haidi Lao.
Which is hot pot in China.
Yeah, it's a hot pot, so you would think it's something else. Like you would expect some sort of dry pot for the kids or something, but no, they get a hamburger on the kids menu, and it's $1.28 if you use a coupon. Without the coupon, it's $4.25. But everybody uses coupons in China. Oh yeah, my researchers were telling me, you don't know what the the coupon game is in China? They're like, oh my god, you're so dumb. So they're like, okay, let's say you come to China, the food
my
delivery
God, I
game.
remember the coupon now when I was young.
What do you mean? Why are you?
Because when you get a coupon, you actually save the coupon. Because that's your like future meal. Like it gives you the day. You can enjoy this in the next 2 months. So you keep that coupon until you can afford the burger. So you go there, hand in the coupon, the money. Oh, I remember this now.
Wait, that's
They
so
don't do that
cute.
here?
They do, but the coupons in America are kind of ass. It's like when you spend $50, you get 30 cents off. Huh? And I'm like, then I might as well not spend the $50 to get 30 cents off. But my researchers were telling me it's not even just the coupons. Coupons and delivery systems are crazy. So they were saying in China right now, it's been a problem. All the food delivery apps, you know how Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash, they're all a luxury in the US. Like I want to use it for every meal. It's like, oh, okay, like now you're paying for the delivery and tip as you should. You got to tip the drivers. However, in China, I guess the major companies are in such a battle of who's going to take over the delivery space that the deliveries are so quick and they're cheaper than if you were to go to the restaurant yourself. So
damn.
people will actually do the thing where they get on the delivery app, redeem the coupons inside the restaurant, and then pick it up and take it to go.
Oh.
Because
I
they'll
see.
they'll
give
see
you
the
discounts.
price, yeah, online on the delivery app, and then see it in person, and it's cheaper on the delivery app.
Wow.
Yeah, so they self-deliver. It's been crazy, okay? Now, Haidi Lao, kids menu, $4.25, $1.28. Xibei, much more expensive. Much more expensive. You're talking about like at least $6 and then easily goes up.
And also, just so people know, $6 doesn't sound like a lot, but in China, times 7,
Yeah.
that's 42. Just imagine spending $42 on a kid's meal. Like
Yeah.
literally, because that's kind of how much people make, and you know,
On a
very-
child.
Exactly.
I just have a question for parents out there. If you have a child and let's say you got a piece of of delicious lobster. And the best part is the top part of the lobster. Do you give it to your 2-year-old who doesn't appreciate the taste of lobster? Or do you consume it because that kid doesn't appreciate the taste of lobster yet? Well, maybe when they're 10, they'll appreciate it. Like,
Expose yourself.
yeah, because I'm so curious about it because I see my sister and she's like saving all the good parts. And I'm like, hey, so I met your kids. They're gremlins and they'll eat like sticky rice off the floor. I think you should also enjoy some food once in a while. She's like saving all the pretty parts. I'm like, this is crazy. I've seen the way your kids eat. Okay. No, anyway, their food ranges around like $6 for a kid's meal. And the best comparison that I can give you is there's no comparison. It's just a solid restaurant, mid-range to high-end, and everybody comes and it's a good time. It's the family restaurant brand. And not to mention, when you go into Shibei, they give you an hourglass and they guarantee that all the dishes are going to be served before the hourglass ends. I don't know how much time is in that hourglass, but if it doesn't come in that time, you get your meal for half off.
Damn.
But September 10th, 2025, there's this influencer by the name of Lo. Now, Lo is a very interesting influencer because he looks like a middle-aged physics teacher. I don't know how else to describe Lo to you. He's got a dad build, he's got a physics teacher build, and he wears glasses, and his hair is like a little bit past the prime all the time. It's like every time you look in the mirror and you go, I should probably shower and wash my hair. That's how his hair is all the time. And I love him for that.
He talks just like a physics teacher too.
Yes.
With no, what is it?
No, his cadence is just pure monotone.
那个时候的作文你们也知道，是要今天跟我的学生同学。
But he's top string influencer.
Yeah, he is.
He's the speed of China.
Yeah, he's iShow speed of China, and this is how he looks and this is how he talks. And honestly, I think it's kind of endearing. But he goes onto Twitter, or like Weibo, which is Chinese Twitter, and he posts, "It's been a long time since I last ate at Shibei. After getting off the plane today, I had a meal there with my colleagues, and I realized almost everything was pre-prepared, and it was still so expensive. It's honestly disgusting. I really hope the government pushes legislation soon to require restaurants to clearly indicate whether they use pre-prepared food." Okay, let me give you some context. There is also a war going on in China of pre-prepared food. This is a huge thing in China. So when you go into a restaurant, everyone is expecting you to get the wok flavor. They say that's why you go out to eat. You eat at home because you need it to be affordable and it's good. And sometimes you'll order food because it's cheap, but that you're expecting pre-prepared food. Pre-prepared meaning these restaurants are almost like ghost kitchens.
Okay.
They have a big distribution center. Yes.
Okay, I don't know if I need to explain the food dishes
Yeah.
that you eat
Yeah.
in China to people because
yeah.
because when you go to eat at a restaurant, like it's not sesame chicken, right?
Okay.
It's a lot of dishes. It's a lot of different dishes,
Yes.
and you cook with fresh ingredients.
Yes.
So it's like you throw veggies and oil and you stir fry it, chicken, like whatever. You stir fry it versus pre-produced food is almost like fast food because everything is kind of in the package.
Yes.
You dump it out of the package, you reheat it basically.
Oh, okay. So I guess the best comparison would be if you go to a fast food chain and you get a burger and that burger patty has been frozen and then they
Yeah.
just heat it up, throw it on the buns, put some sauce on
Which
it, put
is
some chopped
fine.
lettuce, which is fine. It's fine. But you're also expecting to pay the price of fast food.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh, I know the price. I know what I'm getting. Like, I know I'm not getting like a fancy cooked meal. It's fine as long as everybody knows, right?
Yeah.
But then if you go to a nice restaurant and they say, hey, I want $20 for this burger, I'm expecting
Yeah.
someone on the grill
Yeah.
pressing my burger patty down, smashing it with his bare fist, adding an heirloom tomato on top. Like, I'm expecting the highest quality burger that I've ever inserted into my mouth. That's what I'm expecting. And that is what's going on with Shibei. Or at least you would assume, until Lo, the influencer, comes around and he says pretty much everything in that restaurant has been pre-prepared. Meaning, if you were to order some sort of delicious broth, well, guess what? It's not delicious because he thinks it comes from the main kitchen, which is outsourced, and then they just heat it up at the store.
They microwave it.
They microwave that shit. And he's like, what's the difference of me just going to get ready to eat meals from the freezer section of the grocery store and then cooking it at home? It would be a lot cheaper. So he posts this all over Weibo and it starts going viral. And I just need to give you some context on Lo. And I think that Lo's life and career history is one of the most fascinating things that I have ever witnessed, because he is, at the end of the day, someone who fails at everything except being an influencer. I don't know how it worked out, but like he has failed everything else prior to that. Like he was actually considered one of the very first batch of influencers that made it to the spotlight.
He's old, by the way. He's like
Oh yeah.
probably 50s.
Yeah, and he's like the Wang Sutong of the influencers, but just like very different. So he's clearly not as rich as Wang Sutong, although he is quite a very wealthy man, okay? Not nearly as rich. A little bit older, definitely. More nerdy. And he's got time. This man has time. So when Wang Sutong goes after other celebrities, he'll do a tweet and then he'll forget about it because he gets very busy buying his dog, I don't know, diamond-crusted watches. And then he'll remember it and then he'll come back to it and do another tweet. But this man takes time. If he doesn't like someone, he holds a press conference. I'm not even fucking kidding you. He's done this every single time he didn't like someone. He holds a press conference.
And people eat it up.
Yes, and people show up. It's not even him sitting there live streaming and eating dinner and being like, you know what, I will address the rumors. It's not like that. It's a there's a podium. There's people sitting in a line. It's a press briefing. I'm like, we need to do stuff like that more often. We need to do that here. Like, I don't want these like drama breakdowns anymore. I want everyone to have press conferences. I want it to be live streamed. I want a bunch of drama channels sitting as in the press pool. And then they're raising their hands, asking questions. That's what I want. Could you tell me, are you Alex IX or EX? Like, I need that in a press conference format. I don't want interviews. I want a press conference. So that's what he does. And this man actually started off as an English teacher. So the fact that he can understand this entire video is sending me into a different dimension. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that you were nerdy.
He does look like a teacher. No wonder he carries himself like a teacher.
Yeah. And he blew up on the internet because people said that he was very comedic in his teaching.
Really?
Yeah, and then that's when it clicked for me. That you and I grew up so differently.
Oh, because that's like my English teacher?
No, because like I watched the clips that went viral of him where he's like making jokes, and I'm like, this is the most boring class I've ever been in. And
really?
so I'm like, I guess most classes are very serious in China. So he has a very laid back style where he likes to tell stories as he teaches, which I feel like is a very common thing in the US. But Yeah. He's like, when you watch those TikTok videos of the stand-up comedians who post their own stand-up sets because nobody else will post them. And like it's good enough that you'll watch it until the end, but you're not like cackling.
You're not hearting it.
And you're not like sending it to your friends. You're just like, okay.
All right.
And then you swipe, and then it's a dog, and then you're like, and then you swipe and it's hockey, and then you're like, computer. It's just one of those things, and that's him. So the lectures go viral because everyone's like, this guy is so funny. I don't hear a single laugh in the audience, but they're like, this guy is so funny. So then he starts teaching English online, and then he gets listed as one of the top 10 influencers in China in 2005.
As a teacher, though.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's like, I'm going to leave teaching and really spread my wings. So he creates his own business called Bullog.
Blog?
Yeah. It's spelled Bullog.
Blog. Okay.
Bullog. He wanted it to be Reddit. So it was a blog. Okay. And after a few years, it went bankrupt. And then the website shut down. Then he started an English tuition center called Lo and His Friends English Academy. And that also failed. And then in 2012, he decided that he was going to make smartphones. I don't know what's happening with this guy. So then he created a brand called Smartisan, a smart artisan. He said, this is going to beat Apple. You don't even know. He went bankrupt. And he was 8 figures in debt, USD. He was like $10, $20 million in debt. And then he had an air purifier. Okay, I had multiple people fact check this because when a researcher was telling me about it, and I was like, are you just making shit up right now? Because that would make me upset. And she was like, no, I swear. And I low-key didn't believe her. I'm so sorry. So then I asked somebody else and I was like, can you just fact check that for me? Because it doesn't make sense. And they're like, no, it's real. So he started a humidifier company called Jose Tronco. I don't know what the fuck.
Jose Tronco?
Yeah, and he also had a sound system company that he called David and Shelly.
Huh?
Okay.
Yeah. I don't
He
know.
just makes like different electronics.
Yeah, but why would he name it David and Shelly? Who are David and Shelly to him? Who's Jose?
I think sometimes
What? What?
sometimes what they would do,
Yeah.
you make it sound foreign.
So that people want to pay for
So
it.
people think it's like a foreign brand. I'm serious.
Yes, maybe that's what he was
Yeah,
doing.
yeah. You want to make it sound exotic.
Yeah, so David and Shelly was the sound system. He also made an electronic cigarette brand called Wild, VVILD. I don't know, a suitcase company. All of these failed. It was at this point where he was named the industry death lamp because everything he touches just dies. But then in 2020, he decides, let me just try live streaming really quick. He paid off all his debt through selling on live stream. And then he started a live streaming company where it's called Be Friends Holding Limited. I don't know what his obsession with English is. And then successfully listed it in China. I think
He went public?
Yeah.
Damn.
There was one live stream where I think he had $14 million in sales of products in one live stream. I think there was another one
What?
where he broke $25 million sold in a live stream.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fucking.
I think it's because he doesn't oversell things. He's just like a dad selling shit. And you're like, you know what, Mr. Lowe? I think I will buy that. Because he's just like, it's just okay, you know? So if you want it, it's okay. I mean, the price is okay. So what you're going to get is okay. So, okay. You're like,
Okay.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. I guess I'll buy that. But one thing I will say that has never changed is his constant popularity. People like him. People like that he's a knockoff Wang Zitong. People like that he's very honest and that he just, I will say, he is dependable. I feel like if I had a problem, I could go to him. I think that he would be quite judgmental about my problem, but I think he would help me fix it. That's the vibe he gives. Let me give you an idea. There is the Simons, the refrigerator
Oh,
company.
西门子.
Why'd you look at me like I was crazy when I said Seaman?
西门子.
Okay. Siemens. And he was like, no, it's a Chinese brand. I was like, I've never heard this brand. And he's like, it's a Chinese brand. And I was like, really? It doesn't sound Chinese. I Google it. It's like a German brand. And he goes, oh, no, but we all have it in China. And I said, okay. So then the Siemens refrigerator and washing machine, they sell a bunch of household appliances. And he goes online and he's like, hey, listen up, Siemens. I got your refrigerator. I got your fucking washing machine. And both of them have broken down one after another. I would never buy this unlucky brand ever again. Let me tell you something. He says 9 times out of 10, I close my refrigerator door. Then I walk away. And then I come back, it's popped open by itself. Am I living with a fucking ghost? Why is my refrigerator door not closing properly? He's getting pissed off. He posts this, tags Siemens. It gets reposted. It receives over 1,000 comments with people saying, I have the same problem. My refrigerator door keeps popping open. So then he's like, you know what? I've decided to hold a press conference. So that he has a press conference. He's an influencer.
Yeah.
He's having a press conference where he's taking down Siemens. He's like, let me read you of all the anecdotal stories that everybody has. And then he's saying things like, you know, your company sells IQ 100 series refrigerators. Why the fuck are you naming it that when he can't even keep its door closed? Like, he's aggressive. This man is aggressive, monotone. Everything is monotone. He's not even passionate.
But he's dissing. Like he's
Yeah. He's like, why would you call it IQ 100 series refrigerators? I really don't have the time or energy to deal with everyone on the whole internet, but for the people leaving comments under this post, we gotta resolve their issues as soon as possible. Otherwise, bear the consequences yourself, Siemens. Are you seriously calling this IQ 100? That's the vibe he gives me. And it's just like, I feel like I did something wrong, okay? Underneath that post, everyone is just like voicing their problems. Siemens doesn't respond. For months, he's going at it. Press conference after press conference after press conference. He's talking to major news publications. He's going out there interviewing himself and other people. Like, he's doing all of it. Even then, Siemens is not reporting anything. He's going into electronics stores. He's talking to Siemens employees, and all of them are kind of bratty. I don't know why. That pisses him off some more. He gets extra pissed off at that. Like, why are you treating me like I'm dumb? So then what does he decide to do? He has another press conference, but this time outside of the Siemens headquarters in Beijing. And this is actually like quite poetic, but they had lined up 3 Siemens refrigerators, and he's got a mallet. And he just starts beating it to a pulp. And then this is when all the news stations are like, we gotta go! We gotta go! So then they show up and
That's
they're
like the
recording it.
Rimowa fire.
The Rimowa drama is crazy right now. There's this guy who got a Rimowa suitcase, and they're like freaking expensive. Okay, like the big metal one, I think it's like, I don't know, like $2,000. And it was open on the baggage claim. Open. And he said this is the 3rd time it's happened. He's like lighting the Rimowa suitcases on fire. All these different brands are getting involved.
Yeah.
I think even like a condom brand got involved. Wrap it up, pack it up. I don't know, right? So lots of people are getting involved, except for Rimowa. What are they doing? But they even hold up a sign, like a protest. So they beat up the refrigerators, and then they all sit and take like a class photo outside the Siemens headquarters. And it's actually like really sweet. Okay, the sign says, kindly request that Siemens admit their issues and solve the refrigerator door issue. And everyone's just like smiling. So the sheer drama, the sheer bizarreness creates such a buzz online that a few days after smashing the 3 refrigerators, he holds another press conference, and it feels so official. There's like presentations, there's slideshows, there's a mic that he's fidgeting with and it's not working right. He's got a clicker and everything, okay? So he's like, let me show you. From the image above, you can see that this one refrigerator has a white component on the door, while this one does not. That small component is what helps the door close properly. And he explains that these 2 brand new refrigerators he had just purchased, and even offered to show the media the receipts. Clearly, the quality control was off and something had gone wrong because that white part is gone. So the whole point of a refrigerator is to keep the door sealed and maintain a stable temperature. If the fridge can't even keep its door shut well enough to stay cold, then what's the point of a refrigerator? But for months, Siemens did not want to acknowledge this, did not provide us consumers with any sort of solution, and did not offer a formal apology. And everyone's like, trying to put sunglasses on him, you know, in the press conference. Like, people are loving this shit. And so he goes around and he's doing more press conferences until finally the president and the CEO of Siemens China had to issue a formal apology. They had to set up a special hotline and a dedicated Weibo account to assist anyone experiencing issues. They also offered free on-site inspections for those who needed it, and they could install a door closer at no cost. But it wasn't just Siemens. Okay, this guy goes against everybody. Another notable fight was he got into a fight with the CEO of Zealer. Zealer is like a huge tech and lifestyle content platform that was like founded by this guy named Wang. This is back when he had his Smartisan phone. So the Wang guy doesn't like the Smartisan phone, reviewed it, and was like, hey, so it's ass. So then he was like, you know what? I'm going to fly to your city, and we're going to have a press conference debate. So they sit down and do a full debate. They said that this is the closest thing that China has had to a presidential debate. That's what a lot of people were saying. Okay. Yeah, they were saying it was fucking cutthroat. Other media outlets, like Forbes, were even saying this was the closest thing that China had to a presidential debate. That's not me saying that, okay? That was them. And Lo does not come. Like, this man does not come to a fist fight with his fist. He doesn't even come to a fist fight with a knife. He comes to a fist fight with a fucking F-13 fighter jet and a tanker and drone bombs. Okay, this guy is so insane. He did not bring a PowerPoint because I think the logistics of setting up a PowerPoint, maybe the other guy, Wang, didn't want it. So he had printed out giant flashcards that were twice the size of his body, and he was flipping through them one by one, just going completely overboard, confronting this guy in person.
So he won?
Yeah. So, I mean, his phone sucked ass. So the review was valid, okay? But he won the debate. He won the debate because he's that crazy. He'll have headers on his PowerPoint. Incorrect facts. Then he'll put it down and list all the incorrect facts.
So he's a debater. He's like he can.
Debater.
That's why he's good,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He had another one that just said slander. And then he went on to say that Wang is a slander. And then he said Wang's company has been receiving funding from big tech companies recently, so there's incentive for him to want to shut down a new company that's creating similar things that would be competing in the market against those other companies. He also said, don't talk about being an independent bitch when you're just a fucking whore. I'm not even kidding. He didn't say it like that. But he basically said it. We read in between the PowerPoint slides. We read the lines. He told him, don't talk about being an independent, thought-provoking person when you've got a sugar mama. So then it turns out, people were like, he's just saying stuff at this point. He's just calling him a little skank with no evidence. Turns out there are rumors that he was dating one of the CEOs of one of the biggest tech companies, and she was funding his lifestyle.
So there was like a secret scandal that was uncovered from this? Okay.
Yeah. Dong Minju?
Dong Minju?
Yeah. Okay, sorry. Who is she?
I don't know.
Compare her to someone. Like a Mark? Like a Jeff?
I don't know. Like Oprah Winfrey? I don't know.
Wait, what?
I just know she's old and rich.
Oh, okay. okay, yeah, that's valid.
Like, I mean, that's all I know. When you hear that name, that's all I know.
Okay, founder of or CEO of Gree Electronics. Have you heard of Gree Electronics?
No.
Okay,
Probably,
so you
maybe
just know
some
as
kind
her,
of
like an old rich lady.
Super rich.
Yeah.
Old,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, of course, both parties have denied such rumors, but he just got his ass wrecked. He just wiped the floor with him and then left with his smartphone. That's what Lowe did. And Lowe would even publicly say, like, as someone who holds grudges. That's what he says. He's like, look, I am someone who holds grudges. I never let any sort of thing go unpunished if I feel like I've been slighted. I also have a super highly aggressive personality. I've never lost an argument online. I've been through years of trials and tribulations. I just want everyone to know that my mind is so open-minded and broad that all of the enemies that I've made throughout my life could all fit in my mind and I would still find it so spacious. He said there would still be so much room left.
Oh man, that's so good.
But out of every single person that he's battled, he said there's one fight that he's lost to
yeah?
a Starbucks barista.
Bro.
There's a viral
Legendary.
video of him slapping himself in Starbucks because he's getting very confused by the sizes of like the tall grande
Okay, let me tell
venti.
people.
Yeah.
So there's this video. I don't really know what that video like started from, but he walked into Starbucks. He's like, I will like, you know why?
medium.
Because I relate to him.
Why do you relate to him?
Because I still don't know the size difference.
We don't
So-
drink Starbucks anymore, but I know what
Yeah.
you mean. Yes. Okay, continue.
Yeah. So you go into Starbucks and he said, I would like the medium size cup. And the barista is smiling. She never stopped smiling. She said, we have 3 cups. This is, what's the size? Grande?
Tall, grande, venti.
Tall grande venti. But in
Yeah.
Chinese, basically it's like it starts with medium, large, and extra large. He said, out of these 3, I want the medium one.
The middle
He's-
one.
Yeah. She's like, this one is large. This one is medium. He's like, but out of these 3, I want the medium one. She's like, this one is a large. The other one is the medium. So this go back and forth a few more times and he's just start to slap himself.
And now people just use the meme of him slapping himself when they're just befuddled by any sort of conversation or behooved or anything is blasphemous. You're using that slapping meme, which by the way, Starbucks also, everyone needs to chill out. But Starbucks, aside from the news that they've already been in, the CEO recently said, the reason that you're getting a $9 drink from us is for the experience. And everyone said, what the fuck?
Where you pay $9 for experience? He said?
Yes. And everyone's like, are we talking about the same fucking experience that every American has probably experienced in their lives one too many times and it was not a spectacular experience? That's crazy. Have you seen the library cafes that have been popping up in a lot of cities? I think there's one in Atlanta too now. I know there's a lot in New York, but they have a whole bookshelf of books and you can read them for as long as you're inside the cafe. And you can probably get like a $5 drink and stay there for 3 hours. So talk to me later about experience. Anyway. Lowe posts this whole paragraph about Shibei, how he and his colleagues went there. Everything tasted like prepackaged food. Now, am I a PR person? No. But I think everyone with half a mind would tell Shibei, don't address this. Like, it's not a big deal unless, I mean, do you feel like this is such a big deal that you want to come out and refute this? Like, what's going on, right? Shibei could have just done nothing and nobody would have thought about it twice because it's just an
his
accusation.
complaint is like, I went into this very high-end restaurant, like that I haven't been back for so long. Turns out everything in there, you pay premium price for fast food.
But the reason that people didn't think that Shibei should have responded is he didn't even phrase it like that. He was just saying everything tastes like prepackaged food. So it's like, I mean, that's just a subjective opinion. It's not a crazy accusation of like, I went into the kitchen or I saw someone doing something crazy in the back kitchen. It was just like, it tastes like
Yeah.
and it was expensive and it tastes like ass. So it's like, okay, his followers are going to see that and probably won't go, but I don't think Shibei needs to respond is how a lot of Chinese netizens were feeling. But then you have to realize that the CEO of Shibei, his name is Jia Guolong.
Jia Guolong.
Jia Guolong. Okay, we're going to call him Jia. And he has a personality that I would say is nearly identical to Lo. Like, they are two peas in a pod, two boobs in a bra. Like, they are the same person. I'm the same. That's it, okay? So they're both headstrong debaters. They don't know when to stop. They just grab a knife and they start stabbing, and then it's too late when they look down and they've stabbed their own leg 10 times. Like, you're like, why did you do all of that? This clash was going to become inevitable. The entire drama takes up the whole month of September 2025. Influencers are getting pissed off because they're like, did you not just see I broke up with my boyfriend? Hello? Hello? But no, everyone's like, let me see these two middle-aged men spar it out online over food. When opportunity strikes, you have to seize it. Amazon Prime's same-day delivery helps you say yes before the moment slips away and turn maybe next time into yes right now. Got asked out on a last-minute date but have nothing to wear? Don't take a rain check. Say yes. Prime can get you the perfect fit just in time to make that dinner reservation. Did your best friend suggest a spur-of-the-moment road trip? Make it happen. Clean underwear and a travel pillow delivered before you can even pack the car. Are the kids begging for an impromptu astronaut-themed slumber party tonight? Say yes and make it epic. Prime gets you everything from glow-in-the-dark stars to a projector to popcorn fast. And the memories made in that spaceship fort made out of blankets, absolutely priceless. Say yes to the moments that don't wait. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to find millions of items delivered fast. Same-day delivery, it's on Prime, available in select areas. Terms apply. So Shibei's boss responds. On that same day, Lo made the post. A media reporter had called one of Shibei's press outlets to inquire about the issue, and the worker notified them that at their location, all the beef is made in the morning that day. Their noodles are hand pulled. All their vegetables are delivered fresh to the store, made to order. And then Jia comes out and he tells the interviewers, after I saw Lo's Weibo post, I immediately booked a flight to Beijing. You know, my family had all gone to sleep. I was so angry I couldn't fall asleep. It was like 3 a.m. I was downstairs by myself. I had grilled skewers. I ordered a bottle of alcohol. I was smoking a cigarette and I was really thinking about it. And I'm like, we don't need all that. Like, this is, imagine the CEO of Cheesecake Factory giving us his life story like this. I would be like, whoa.
I pour myself a glass of whiskey.
I got super high and that's why we have 50 cheesecake flavors. Like, what's happening right now? Then they go to the same Shibei location where Lo had eaten and he starts making several statements to the press and even customers who are now recording. And he said, you know, September 10th, I have this all written down. Lo, 4 friends walk in. Order a total of 15 dishes.
So he's talking to the reporter right now. It's not a press conference, right?
No, it's not a press conference.
He's just chatting with a reporter with an iPhone recording, right?
Yeah, and he's giving me the energy of your father. You know what I mean? And I mean that with love. But like, your dad is not the most press ready man. Yeah. He will look into a camera and say, what the fuck? You know, and that's Jia. And I love that for him, okay? So he's just looking into the cameras and he's like, listen, let me tell you what happened. Lo and 4 friends, 5 of them, they walk into the store and this is around 2:30 p.m. He's setting the scene. They order 15 dishes. They finish their meal in about an hour. I mean, they're ravenous. They're eating the food. And then they left only 2 dishes unfinished. And then after paying, you know, the staff even asked them, how was your meal? And they said, not bad, which is pretty good, right? So then the servers asked if they want to collect their reward points. And they're like, yeah, let me give you my reward account. they get the reward points. Then they leave. Now, about the 2 unfinished dishes, let me tell you what those 2 dishes were, right? So it was the scallion and ginger grilled fish and the tender grilled lamb chops. They didn't finish the scallion and ginger grilled fish and the tender grilled lamb chops. Why? Because those 2 dishes always take longer to serve. So they're usually the last ones at the table. So they were served last. And like I said, when our employees asked how was the meal, they said, not bad, not bad. They took their reward points, and after an hour, they left. And then they say everything from Shibei is pre-prepared. It's so disgusting. None of our food is pre-prepared. Every dish has its standard cooking process, how the ingredients come. Some are from the central kitchen, you know, some are sent to the store when they're frozen and defrosted and further prepared. Some go into the oven, some go into the seasonings, others go through the cooking process. Every dish has its own standards. So starting tomorrow, here's what I'm gonna do. And this is when you should.
He got too excited.
Yeah, he saw all the cameras pointed at him and he said, baby, this is why I think you need to run by every single idea to at least 3 different people. I genuinely think that's the only marriages that I've seen work. Is you have one person is very impulsive and the other person is like, no, absolutely not. You're not doing that. That's it. When you have 2 impulsive people, it's not going to work. They're going to light the world on fire. You've got 2 people who are like, absolutely not. You're not doing that. They're kind of boring. And I don't think he's getting that from anyone because he's got a big head. So he says, starting tomorrow, we will open all 370 locations nationwide. And I am going to give you full transparency and access to our kitchens. Everyone. You on the internet who has never washed your hand, who wears shoes that have dog shit caked on the bottom, come into our kitchens and see it for yourself. I don't know how that's sanitarily allowed. Like the health department rolling over in their graves. But he's like, every single person is welcome. That is how we will clear up the issue that we are not having pre-prepared dishes. What are you guys talking about? So look it up yourself. Come, everyone come, one come, all come. We're all coming together. It's heated rivalry, heated kitchenry, heated cook, heated. You know what's not heated? None of their food, okay? So then people they take that seriously because this blows up on the internet.
The next day, every TikTok is like...
Yes, every influencer, every TikToker, every live streamer, everyone who doesn't even have a TikTok account makes a TikTok account and they're running to Shibei. They're like, this is the best shit that we've ever seen. Now, none of these chefs that are working in any of these locations are responsible for their boss's actions. And none of them, I will tell you, not a single one of them was prepared. I don't even think there was a company-wide email that was sent out. I think a lot of these people got off their shift, laid in bed to brain rot, and then saw their boss saying that and said, what the fuck are we doing tomorrow? That's what I think happened. They're on Douyin scrolling. So then people start coming into the kitchens. Reporters are coming in. Camera crews are coming in. And there are just multiple videos that go viral within moments of Shibei opening their locations across the nation because you've got a lot of confused chefs. And they mean well. They're so likable, but they're fucking confused. They don't know why you're here. They think they're famous now. So they just start answering questions they don't know the answers to.
What?
Let me explain. Okay, so one of the first viral moments that comes out is, I know you guys are crazy about your broths. The way that his mom brings over a chicken broth, and she's like, I've been stewing this for the past 48 business days. You drink every last drop. And I go, yes, ma'am. You guys brew this broth for ages. She's like, this is broth from our ancestors. I'm like, yes, ma'am, I'm drinking it. And then the chicken, she's like, you don't even need to eat the chicken in the chicken broth. And I say, but why? It's chicken in the chicken broth. And she goes, the broth has all the nutrients. There are mushrooms I've never seen inside this chicken soup. It's so good. It's so delicious. So then one of the chefs is like, yes, come in, come in. He looks very confused. He also looks like he just got the job. So he's just, and everyone's pointing the iPhones at him and he looks starstruck. He doesn't know which camera to look at. So he's kind of doing the thing when you take family pictures and you're like, alternating between cameras and talking. So he's looking at the camera and he's like, yeah, so I started the slow cooked chicken broth this morning, and they're like, oh, let me go look. Now, slow cooked chicken broth almost has this like white color because you've been stewing it for so long. It's like all that gelatin, all that collagen. It's like that. That's the amazing part of it. So then they're looking at it and someone's like, yeah, can you just like go through the soup and show us what's inside? Just fucking broth. So they're like, wait a minute, how do you just have broth? How did you make chicken broth without the chicken? Did you throw away the chicken? Where's the chicken? Right? He's like, no, I add the chicken later. So then they're like, wait, what do you mean you add the chicken later when it's a chicken broth? Because you had to cook the broth using the chicken. That's how you get the chicken broth. And he goes, no. Okay, so I get this plastic bag and it has chicken broth in there. I cut it with scissors and then I put it in there and then I slow cook it. How long does it take you to slow cook that? 6 minutes. So everyone goes, how can you say you slow cooked it when it's only been on the stove for 6 minutes? And then there are so many times where these poor chefs get asked questions by these TikTok influencers and they all just look blank. And they all look like, what the fuck? That's a good point. So then he's just like, they're like, so then where's the chicken? And he's like, oh yeah, let me go get that. So then he brings out another plastic bag. And it says frozen, fully cooked, pre-prepared food. On the bag.
Pre-prepared food.
On the bag. Expiration date in 9 months. So then he's like, this is the chicken.
I feel like this boss has never seen how his food is made. Someone liked him. Someone told him something and he took it to heart. Someone said, our food is fresh.
No, he just watched the ads for the company. He's like,
Oh, yeah. That lamb right there?
yes.
Organic.
We brought the lamb alive to the kitchen, actually. So then he was like, the chef is like, no, it's not like prepackaged food. Because they're like, it literally says prepackaged food. And he goes, it's, we call it like a semi-finished product. Semi-finished. Which again, nothing's wrong with this. You just expect to pay cheaper prices. Like you're not expecting to pay $30 to get your broth out of a bag. Okay? That's crazy.
I think also their marketing. They
Yes.
keep saying it's like fresh.
Oh, and then he points at a pile of frozen desserts. And someone's like, are these fresh? And he goes, no, it came here frozen. But like they're cooked, and we serve them when they're fresh. And he's like showing all the kitchen stuff. And he's like, so this is the grilled fish, but it's frozen right now. The skewers, we get them pre-marinated. So are they frozen? Yeah. Okay. So he's just like doing a whole tour and it's progressively getting worse and worse and worse. And then they're like, well, how many dishes do you have on the menu? Oh, we serve around like 60 types. How many of them are frozen? Probably a lot of them. Most of them? Yeah, most of them. And then they go to the vegetables. They're like, show me your fresh produce. Because they're all talking about, oh, come bring your kid here. We got the fresh veggies. And then he was like, so this is our broccoli. And it's frozen. Why don't you use fresh vegetables? Oh, because these are organic broccoli. So it's frozen. Okay, so everyone's like, what the fuck is going on? On the package, the broccoli expires in 2 years. So people are saying, when you bring your kid to Shibe, they're eating broccoli that's older than them. Okay, the broccoli has been on this planet longer than your fucking child has been on this planet. And your child is consuming the broccoli. And again, nothing is wrong with frozen broccoli. Okay, there's actually debates that there might be more nutrition in frozen vegetables these days because they flash freeze them when they're prime. But it's just the fact that they market it and then they charge you $1 bajillion. You're just expecting, a normal human would go in there and expect it to be fresh broccoli, but it's not. And these poor employees, I mean, they're just getting hounded with questions. They're like, why is the shelf life on the broccoli 24 months? And he goes, I'm not the one that decides that. So then they're all just like, what is going on? At one point, they start going through the kitchen supplies and they realize that this kitchen, this huge kitchen that serves 60 various different dishes, they have 10 knives, and 9 scissors. Because all they do is cut open the plastic bags. That's all they be doing. There's another viral clip of one of the interviewers asking a chef if they have any overnight foods at Shibei. So overnight foods is like a big thing where let's say you have a dish from Tuesday night, lamb chops. You got leftover lamb chops at the end of the night. They want, especially nice restaurants that charge a lot, the employees should take home the lamb chops. Because tomorrow, they should not see those fucking lamb chops. It should be fresh lamb chops for all the customers. And he's like, do you guys do overnight foods? And he's like, no, absolutely not. So then they go over the lamb chops, which has a shelf life of two years. So one bag, how many times do you use this? Oh, three meals. So we do 3 meals. Okay, so let's say you only get 1 order of lamb chops for dinner tonight. What do you do with the rest? Oh, so then we'll probably do it for lunch and dinner tomorrow. So then they're like, okay, so then it's overnight food, yes? The chef pauses, and you can see his brain moving, and you can see him contemplating whether or not Heidi Lau has an opening for a job, okay? So he's just standing there, and he's buffering, and then all of a sudden, he just starts aggressively nodding and says, overnight. We do overnight. Okay. All the comments, the netizens love the chefs, by the way. They're like, the Shibei chefs are the most honest people I've ever met in my life. They say that, to be honest, aside from their boss who is a liar, every single one of their employees is so honest. Like, they can't even lie if their life depended on it. So with that, with Lo doing nothing but really just tweeting once or twice about Shibei, the comments say, Lo landed a blow on Shibei, but it wasn't fatal. The subsequent 99 blows were self-inflicted, and every single one of them was fucking deadly. Another person says, at most, Lo gave him a light tap, but Shibei couldn't save face and ended up stabbing themselves to death. Like, what the fuck is going on right now? Nobody knows. And people were saying, you got to take the Heidi Lau incident, for example. So recently in Heidi Lau, I think a few months before this, a Heidi Lau in Shanghai got caught in a huge scandal.
Is it the rat? Oh, no. Wait, what is it?
There was a rat?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh my God, there was a rat?
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What is it?
That felt slanderous.
Okay, I don't know. What is it?
Okay, so in Shanghai Heidi Lau, 2 17-year-old boys, motherfuckers, they should be charged as adults. They got up on the table after they finished their meal and pissed into the hot pot.
Oh my God, yes.
They peed in the hot pot. They urinate into the hot pot on top of the table. I mean, this is nasty. These get reused. They wash the hot pot and then they reuse it.
But that's not the restaurant's fault.
It's not the restaurant's fault, but it could have gone really bad. Heidi Lau, they act quickly. They act super quick. They address all the issues. They don't try to cover it up. They immediately gut the store. People said it was like they're building a brand new store. They got rid of everything.
Store?
They got rid of everything to show how serious they were about their hygiene. And then on top of that, if you dined at a Heidi Lau on that day, you're getting 10 times what you paid for food. So if you spent $100, you're getting $1,000 back.
Damn.
From Heidi Lau.
Damn.
And everyone, all the netizens, from what went from, oh my gosh, I never want to eat at a Heidi Lau ever again, to why the fuck didn't I eat at Heidi Lau on piss day? I'm so pissed off at myself. Someone said, I'm poor. If someone peed in that pot and I used it right after but got 10 times the compensation, I wouldn't even mind eating it every single day. Someone said, if I had known this, I would have at least sold my house and gone to eat at Heidi Lau that day. Other people said, there are always such big opportunities in the big cities. Okay. Some other people are saying, I spend so much money every time I go to Heidi Lau. I feel like there's no meaning in working anymore when I could have just gotten 10 times back if I had just gone there that day. It's like the lottery system. So they turned this insanely negative thing into a damn, I wish I ate there on piss day. So people are like, Shibei should have done something like that. But instead they didn't. Okay, another similar incident with overnight food. Have you heard of Mixue? Mixue? M-I-X-U-E. How do you pronounce that?
Mixue.
Mixue.
The boba tea?
Yeah, they have a location in New York now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so they have a bubble tea chain. This was around like World Consumer Rights Day. They became one of the companies that were exposed in this investigative expose, slamming the door open, opening Pandora's box, because they have these 50-cent lemonades, and everyone knows what it is. It's water and lemons. And then they have orange. It's like hand punched orange, they say. So they like, you know how when you make a cocktail, you kind of, I don't know what it's called, muddle them, I don't know. But you kind of smush it around.
Yeah.
But instead of adding alcohol, they just add water. So it's 50 cents. You're getting hydrated. It's not too sugary. And it's like a nice cold refreshment. It's like spa water, cucumber water, 50 cents. I would pay for that, right? Especially if I'm out and about and a water bottle is more expensive. I'm getting the 50-cent cucumber water. Well, turns out, sometimes they would use the same lemons the next day. The lemons would be left overnight and then they would use it the next day. Okay, that's like the whole, that's the drama. And
Serious.
it was serious, very serious. Everybody was going crazy over this. Mainstream media is reporting this as if, holy shit, this brand is going to go down. All the comments said, if my lemon water doesn't have lemons that sit out a little, that rest overnight, I don't fucking want it.
Why?
Because they say, how dare you try to take down our 50-cent fucking waters. And then all the comments said, Mishu, I already had low standards, but I'm lowering it again just for you. That's it.
Okay, because the product is so good and so affordable.
Yeah.
And they don't mind the lemon sits overnight. Okay.
Yeah. And then everyone's saying, mainstream media journalists, Mishu uses overnight fruit. Netizens, they use real fruit? Incredible. Let's go more often. People say, you know what? Here's the easiest solve.
That's true.
Open Mishu 24 hours. Then we won't have overnight fruit and I'll get my lemon water at 3 a.m. People are like, don't come from my Mishu. Okay, easy on my Mishu, which by the way, if you're in New York City, you can go to Mishu and I believe they're having similar prices. I don't think it's American prices. I think you can get like a soft serve ice cream cone for $1.
Oh,
and I heard
that's
it's
the
fucking
one.
banging. Yes. And then if you
yeah.
guys have seen this giant snowman character with a smiley face, it's like the really cute snowman on edited as the Statue of Liberty. That was Mishu.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're coming to New York. Oh yeah. I actually have not seen a Mishu fight in New York though, but people saw them on the. Okay, so their mascot.
Mishu fight?
Yeah. Okay, so their mascot is the Snow King. It's a giant snowman, cute, the most adorable fucking snowman you've ever seen, always smiling, and it's like a big inflatable. So they have mascots at their stores. A lot of people started spotting them in the dirty streets of New York City. One of them was spotted on the train, and so everyone's like, "Oh my god,
That's so smart.
why is Mishu on the train?"
They made their mascot just roam around the city?
Yes.
Whoa.
And it's actually really smart because in China, they have Mishu fights. So it's like a thing in China. I didn't know it's part of the culture. Okay, my culture is not your joke, but it's like it's a thing where every store, a lot of their brands have their own mascots. And these mascots, a lot of the times in touristy areas specifically or high traffic areas, they have a lot of stores. So you'll have like a Mishu, you'll have another boba tea shop, you'll have another fast food chain, right? Like one store away from each other. And they all get their inflatable mascots and they just start fucking fighting on the street. I've never seen anything like this before. And I went down this deep rabbit hole of watching copious amounts of videos. I think I almost became brain dead from these Mishu fights. So this Snow King will go out there and will just start going crazy. It'll start singing. It's they have a theme song. It's like, you love me, I love you, Mishu's sweet and lovely, and they'll sing it while they're fighting. One of Mishu's biggest competitors is called Cha Panda. And a panda is their mascot. I know, whoop-de-f***ing-do, we never would have guessed, right? And so on the street, sometimes you'll randomly just see a snowman and a blue panda fighting. And so here's what I was thinking. Okay, I'm like, this is a Saturday event. Because like, why would you do this on a Tuesday? It's a Saturday event when there's a lot of trapfic, when there's a lot of people walking by, right? But in every single video, there's only like 3 people walking by. And I'm like, oh, they're doing this for fun. They're dedicated. These mascots.
They're paid fighters.
Yeah, they're MMA fighters in disguise. They're training for something.
How severe is the fight? How dedicated are they?
Okay, so when it's 2 inflatables, right?
Yeah.
They do lots of bouncing and boom, boom, and then some of them will flip over. Now, it gets really intense to the point where a lot of them will deflate because the fight was so intense.
Yeah.
And they have backup ones. So
They
they have
change?
backup ones that'll come in and do the rest of the fight.
What do you
And
mean?
then-
They have friends? Pierce?
Yeah, they have multiple Mishu snow.
Oh.
Yeah, Mishu's got big budget.
No, it's like a gang fight.
Yes, and then
Okay.
one of them actually doesn't fight, and one of the snowmen just holds up a Mishu flag as like symbolizing we won.
Oh.
Yeah, and they just like wave it around. So there's like 3 snowmen. There's this one picture I can't get out of my head. It's like a Mishu snowman standing at the Mishu store, and then the Mishu next to him, another snowman, is just plopped on the ground. No one's helping. No one's even looking at the one on the ground. It's just like dead on the ground. And like people are acting like this is completely normal. This is just another day for fucking Snow King. Yeah, sometimes they also have their giant ice cream soft serve cone. They have like a plastic replica of it outside, like a giant prop. And sometimes when Mishu gets real riled up, they'll grab it and try to poke Chop Panda's inflatable to pop it. And it's just like I don't know what's happening. Like you would genuinely think that this is for promotional purposes. No. They just be doing that. Like they're stabbing each other with ice cream cones. They're getting deflated. It's a lot. It's a lot that's happening. These battles are they're not kids play. And there's this huge burger chain in China called Wallace. It's just like I've never heard of a Chinese word called Wallace, okay? But they're like the competitor for KFC because KFC is actually quite pricey in China. So Wallace is the affordable version. And they are not Mishu's competition. They sell burgers. Mishu sells boba and drinks and ice cream. But it doesn't matter. During one of Wallace's grand openings, it was like a drive-by, okay? Snow King show up and just start beating up the burger mascot. Out of nowhere. They just roll
Drive-by?
up. Yeah. They roll up, get out the van, and they just start pummeling. Oh, and even the Mishu customers are really funny. So there was this one incident that went super viral last year where a customer ordered Chop Panda boba tea takeout. They realized they get it and they checked the label and they had specifically requested added sugar. But then they check their delivery app and it says added sugar, but they check their drink, there's no added sugar. It's bitter. So they're pissed. They reach out to Chop Panda, that exact location, and they say, hey, listen, I asked for added sugar and you didn't give me added sugar. So what are we going to do about this? And they're like, we're so sorry. We're going to get you a full refund. The customer texts them back because it's like a chat. And they say, no, get me the employee who made the mistake and have them sing the Mishu theme song for me. If they sing it, I'll write a good review. Chop Panda responds, okay, give her some time to get into the right headspace. I don't want the refund, so get ready. After a few seconds, Chop Panda replies with a 20-second voice message of them singing the competitor's theme song with full enthusiasm. They did the entire song, not the one-line motto, the entire song. Customer said, I forgive you. They respond, thank you, dear.
Yo, this is too good.
What the fuck is happening
Too
right now?
good.
Yeah, their soft serve is only $1.99 in New York, so you should go get it if you're in the city. But they're also just like roaming around. I want to see some mascots fights in the city. I need to see Snow King in action.
The only thing I can think of is Jollibee. That's the only thing I have.
And because it's been going so viral in New York, everyone's been talking about it. Everyone's like, fuck Starbucks, fuck all these expensive matcha brands, go to Mishu. And everyone is posting the Statue of Liberty with Snow King. And all the New Yorkers are saying, one day this place will be yours. Everyone's obsessed.
How did we get here?
Oh, yeah. That's how Shibei should have done it. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, just get that mascot and just like, bap, bap.
Exactly, but they don't. They open up their kitchens and now look at the shit that you've caused. Look at this mess that you have caused. So this goes on back and forth for the entirety of September and into October. And at this point, Shibei is losing $600 million of revenue. Like, they're losing so much money. Their stores are becoming empty to the point where finally they apologize and they make a whole list of all the things that they're going to fix in the store. They're going to stop using GMO seed oils for all the adults' food since they don't use it for the kids' food. They're going to lower prices by like 20%. They start doing these crazy promotional coupons and they start doing the most cringe PR. So usually when things settle down, people were expecting Shibei would just try to bolster the image that they're using healthy foods again and like try to provide evidence, try to provide proof of it. They did do this thing where they installed security cameras in the kitchen, and then that security feed is depicted to the customers that are sitting in the restaurant. So you can see what's going on in the kitchen, and they're switching up the cooking processes. Whoa. Look, like they are doing a lot, but they're also doing a lot of cringe PR moves to try and save their reputation. So they post this entire story of a Shebei employee, and she's sitting there and she's like, this is the story of 7-year-old Mao Mao. Mao Mao means hair, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's like saying that there was this mother who had seen all the recent news of Shebei and told her son that they're never going to eat at Shebei anymore. And this entire story is so dramatic. The waiter is like, the moment the 7-year-old Mao Mao walked into the shop, he rushed straight towards the manager, wrapped his arms around her legs, and burst into tears. And Mao Mao's sudden actions left Fang Fang, the manager, in just frozen in place. Like, what on earth is going on? Are you okay, child? And he's explaining, my mom recently saw discussions online and casually said to the family, maybe we shouldn't take the kids to Shebei this Sunday like we do every Sunday. It was just a little thing that his mom threw out, but Mao Mao overheard it. He started crying, throwing a tantrum, insisting on going to Shebei, even when his mom tried to distract him, like, I'll take you to grandma's instead, or I'll take you to buy a toy instead. Instead, he resisted all temptations, and he was determined to have his Shebei kids' meal. That was his promise with Shebei. So Mao Mao's mother realized that her child had been eating Shebei since he was 2 years old. And in the past 5 years, there had never been any food safety issues. She shouldn't let some online discussion undermine that trust. That 5-year journey from ages 2 to 7 was no longer just about eating. It had become a habit in her child's growth and a reflection of her parents' trust in Shebei. What warmed our manager, Fang Fang, is not just the love from customers, but also the love from Shebei itself.
Yikes.
The employee is filming this, they forced a poor employee to film this. And from a PR perspective, what the just shut up. That's crazy considering all of that's been going on. This is the last thing. And people said, everyone thought that Shebei had already taken off all their clothes and there was nothing left to see, but they bent over, spread their ass cheeks open and said, let me show you Mao Mao, which means let me show you my butt hair.
Oh, shit.
And people are saying this because no one thinks 7-year-old Mao Mao exists. So they're not like dogging on a kid. They didn't show a kid, it's just a story of a hypothetical kid that nobody thinks exists. Everyone's like, this story definitely didn't happen. And then people started doing these photoshopped images of a kid hugging a Shebei employee, and the caption is, it's okay, Mao Mao. I will freeze it for you and you can eat it when you get older. So right off the bat, this story already sounds fake, but then netizens start nitpicking it and they're all questioning like all the random details. So the employee is like, oh yeah, I've known Mao Mao and he's in kindergarten now. And all the comments are like, that kid is 7 and in kindergarten? I don't know how ages work. But all the Chinese netizens are like, 7 and in kindergarten? The Shebei food got to him. He's not learning, okay? People are saying like, what is happening? That's why you can't feed them Shebei. Then the second story that they come out with, they start doing these like employee stories of how much the employees love, Shebei and how their customers love it. So this one employee is like, I was serving this elderly man and he was an old man. He was from Inner Mongolia and people love a very specific noodle there. And Shebei's version, he said, is very authentic. So he asked me if I could bring him lamb soup and another separate bowl of soup, but only charge him for one. So I said, sure. And I told him I would check with the manager. And that's how we first met. From then on, every time he came in, he would go to one of the private rooms. He would look for me. And everyone's like, this is starting to sound like a grooming type of situation, but okay. I served him from 2002 to 2004. And one day he called me and said that he's staying at a retirement home now. Whenever he came to get takeout, I would just pack him a week's worth of food and write down the menu from Monday through Sunday. And I don't know which part touched him, but I guess our sincerity at Shebei really mattered to him. And then he told me that he had this 1-bedroom property and wanted to gift it to me. I was only 17 at the time. I was so shocked. I didn't know what to
17 at the time?
Yeah. No, it gets good. Yeah.
What in the world?
I didn't know what to say and I politely refused. Later,
she started working when she was 15?
Everyone said, wait a fucking minute. Is Shebei admitting to child abuse?
Yeah.
Like child labor laws being broken?
What? Who wrote that?
Yeah, and she said, later he moved to the retirement home and we stopped contacting each other. But I still think the sincerity we have at Shebei is really special. And everyone
Okay.
said, okay, well, first of all, this is clearly a made up story. But second of all, even if it were a remotely true story, like you were getting groomed. You were getting groomed. And your bosses are telling you that this is a cute story. You were getting groomed. You were 17. And also they're like, wait, let me analyze this. This man walks in. He said, let me get 2 bowls of soup and I want you to charge me for one.
Yes.
And yet he wants to gift you his house? What? Other people are saying, you started working 2 years ago. You were 17 when he offered the house, so you were 15. So is Shibe saying that this is child labor? They're abusing the laws. Is that what's happening? And then other people are saying, you can tell grandpa that he can still eat Shibe at the retirement home. You can just prepare him 2 years worth of food. It'll be fine. And then someone else said, let me just finish the story for you. In the end, the two of them, the 17-year-old and the harabaji, the grandpa, get married and they have a kid named Mao Mao. Because they're saying all of this is fake. These are imaginary characters. Then the last story, they do another story. And this time it's like at a Shibe work conference where one of the employees goes up and is like, I need to tell you about one of the best stories I've had working at Shibe. And the founder of Shibe, Jia, is in the crowd and he's just tearing up. And the camera pans to him at the perfect time that he's tearing up. It's like a wedding vow more than anything. Okay, it's like, what's happening? So this is the story of the 1-year-old. She said this mother walks in and this mother was telling her like her 1-year-old would just never eat enough food. They went to the doctor. They did everything that they could. But when they started taking him to eat at Shibe, that's when he truly learned how to eat food. And that's how Shibe became a family. And now he's almost 3 years old now, has very strong feelings towards Shibe. And there was one time where the closest location to us had shut down. He saw the manager, ran up to the manager on the last day when everything's already closed and was just sobbing because this is how he eats. He lives and
The
breathes.
3-year-old?
Yeah, Shibe. And it's just, I mean, Shibe literally was the only reason my child ate food. And then Gia's just in the crowd wiping his tears. Okay, but then you know what's crazy? People are like, who the f*** is this employee sharing this story? Turns out, Gia's stepdaughter.
The fuck? Okay.
Yeah, so they're like, okay, this is not an employee who works at a store. This is literally, I mean, it's crazy. And then there were other episodes or like other viral things that were just taking off. There would be this one guy who's sitting there and he's like, I always take my kid to Shibe. Like people, whatever they're saying online is just flat out fake. I take my kid to Shibe every single day. And you know what? He's taller than the other kids in his class. He's blah, 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 blah. And then the netizens, they catch him at a Shibe location in a Shibe uniform. And they said, wait a minute. So Shibe is having employees pretend to be customers online, allegedly, and posting videos endorsing Shibe.
Embarrassing. They can't
What
take
the
an
heck?
L.
They can't take the L. So then people are like, okay, let me just title this drama out for you. Episode 1, the Mao Mao who cried because they couldn't eat Shibe. Episode 2, the uncle who wanted to gift a home after drinking soup in Beijing. Episode 3, the barely 1-year-old baby who couldn't have Shibe. Waiting for episode 4 now. Yeah. And then people said, I come up with the next script. A terminally ill patient eats at Shibe 3 days later. Wow, they're cured. Because that's how crazy it's been getting. But what's crazy is people are going on Redbook. And a lot of Shibe locations are packed. They got lines out the door.
Why?
They're doing lots of promotions. They've lowered the prices across the board. And it seems like, I don't know if they're going to make a full comeback, but it seems like they're doing okay. What are your thoughts? This is like the weirdest Chinaverse story I've ever encountered in my life. I never knew it would get this crazy because we have lots of influencer restaurant dramas in the US where it's always like the influencer is like, I want free appetizers for a story. And then it's like, okay, that's crazy. But this is crazy.
This is, wow.
I thought it would be more on the lines of that. But this is a $600 million call out by an influencer and an even crazier food chain owner. What are your thoughts? Leave it in the comments and I'll see you in the next one. Blech.